Let's look at the papers, and of course we, as usual, would start with our sister publication, ThisDay newspaper. Okay, ThisDay has on its front page, it says INEC deploys 27 recs to national commissioners, others to Bayelsa, KOGI, and IMO state for the elections due tomorrow. 90 NMPC contribution to Federation account declined by 56% in 2 years. And power supply, Nigeria government demands 13% derivation from FG, that is Niger government. I hope that's Niger government demanding 13% derivation from the federal government. All right, let's look at some other papers. Let's look at what Tribune is saying on its front page. Tribune, let's look at what Tribune is saying. Tribune, the Tribune. Do we have Tribune there? All right, military police warn troublemakers. This is concerning IMO, KOGI, and Bayelsa polls. And we have below that MTF, Sean Senate invitation, lose your job. The President of the Senate, Akpabio, tells Tinubu's appointees. And just at the topmost, Anyoko, I can't quite get this. Maybe we should go to some other papers. I'm having an issue really with this, but let's go to the next paper. Let's see what the next paper. Let's go to the next paper. Maybe Punch. All right. Let me just finish with this. I think I have them clearer now. Okay, you're already at Punch. FG tackles labor over strike. Unions disrupt IMO flights. The aviation minister was saying that labor should not disrupt the flights, but there you read that IMO unions disrupt IMO flights. Let's see some of the other news. Energy, federal government, Saudi sign MOU, Exim Bank, UBA partner on trade. And that's for Punch. You can't quite get clear this or the reports here. Let's look at what Daily Trust is saying on its front page. Daily Trust newspapers. Igala elders call for postponement. Igala elders call for postponement. Women protest in Bayelsa with 4 riders. Their travelers miss flights as labor grounds IMO bound planes. IGP storms KOGI, military raises alarm on fake soldiers. We just read that this morning. And labor action inconsiderate, not treasonable. Yeah, do. Protest won't hamper Saturday election. That is coming from INEC. DSS reads Riot Act to troublemakers. DSS reads Riot Act to troublemakers. Students threaten strike over tuition hike. That is in Ogun State. FG flags off resettlements homes for Benue DPs. Explosion at the top mast just below the logo of the newspaper. Explosion, Canada says visa centers in Abuja, Lagos remain open. 59 mosques destroyed in Israeli airstrikes on Gaza. 14.3 trillion remitted to Federation account in 2 years. Let's look at the Leadership Friday. The Leadership Friday. All right, as polls hold tomorrow in Nigeria, 5.1 million voters decide KOGI, IMO, Bayelsa's future. It has some riders there. INEC distributes non-sensitive materials. Military state security warn troublemakers to stay clear. Police chief deploys DIGs, ban sirens, revolving lights, covered number of plates, tinted glasses. FRC sends 1,500 personnel concerning these elections. There you see the Minister of Aviation. Airlines, others count losses as labor lockdown IMO, Abuja airports. Nigeria, Saudi Arabia sign MOU for all. Gas sector cooperation. At the topmast, Wike remains my principle, says the governor, Fubara. Customs to evacuate 6,000 overtime cargoes from the port. Let's look at Independent. Then from Independent, we take a trip to the Sun newspaper and see what they're saying. Independent is still on the elections. KOGI, BAYELSA, IMO, Guba polls, another litmus test for INEC. Some riders, stakeholders see voter apathy, doubt INEC assurances. We won't allow anybody manipulate electoral process. This is coming from the PDP. Police declare 5 Bayelsa Council areas violence prone. Military warns troublemakers of injurious consequences. EDU declares state of emergency on humanitarian crisis in Benue. IMO Guber election court rejects bid by a Papa faction of LP to replace Athan Achon, the candidate there of LP. Russia-Ukraine crisis takes toll on Nigeria's crude. NNPC says it affects inflow into international markets. APGA leadership tussle. Judge threatens to jail INEC chairman Oye over contempt. Revenue agencies remit for 14.38 trillion naira to Federation account in 2 years. Shake-up in police as IGP redeploys 14 AIGs, 26 CPs. And airlines passengers groan as labor grounds operations to and out of Imo State. Now the Sun newspaper. The Sun newspaper tears as labor pickets Abuja, Owerri airports. Workers stranded. Airlines cancel flights. CSO demands Ajero's suspension investigation by DSS. Carlo flows PDP's Ohuabunwa at appeal court. FG to subsidize electricity tariff with 900 billion naira by December. Tension in Plateau. Youths plan grand protest as appeal court delivers judgment today. Police allege attempts to raise court buildings in Jos. I've been abandoned, dying in hospital. Frank Kokori is saying that. Federal government will be clash over 2023 supplementary budget. That is a federal government and will be clashing. All right, let's now go to the we didn't read sports today. If we have time, we'll do sports. But let's go to the international papers. Oh, okay, sorry. Financial Times. Financial Times. Apple suffers setback in top EU court over 14.3 billion Irish back taxes dispute. Let's look at some of the riders there. Opinion finds errors of law. Ruling to quash payment in doubt, and doubling denies state aid claim. All right, let's move on to the next foreign paper, which is The Guardian. Pressure grows on Sunak to sack Braverman over clash with police. It's been ongoing. The police, the Palestinian protest, Rowley saying that there's no danger in that. All right, ceasefire deal to free hostages was rejected by Israeli PM. Now there is a corridor for humanitarian aid to go in there, a 4-hour pause. All right, let's look at the I newspaper. Sack me if you dare. Braverman defies PM's authority. That's quite interesting. Okay, you have in I here, Israel to start daily 4-hour military pauses in Gaza amid hostage release talks. Let's just take some of the riders in that Braverman I don't know whether to call it threat or boldness. Senior Tories accuse Sunak of being weak if he fails to sack the Home Secretary after she ignores number 10 on column criticizing police. 2 ministers tell Braverman she'll be dismissed she has to go. And Grat's two stories now see her as a real contender for party leadership. Let's move from the okay, that's all that we can take from the newspapers today.